Hey there guys, aarava here, and today's video is going to be a Q&A for 50k subs. Obviously I did that 50k special video, which is like looking back over the channel over the last 3 years, and at the end I asked you guys for some questions because I got a lot of tweets on Twitter telling me to do a Q&A because lots of people wanted to ask questions, and you guys asked a lot of questions. So we've got 48 questions here. A lot of questions I've picked out which are like common ones. So there are like I think 300 to 400 comments on the video, but half of the comments weren't questions, and then there are a lot of common ones. So there's 48 questions here. If I have missed your question, put it in the comments of this video, and I'll just answer it in the comments. And apologies if I haven't answered your question. I just picked the most common ones and the ones that come up more, or the ones that maybe interest me a little bit more. So if you haven't been answered, put it in the comments and I'll do that for you. But yeah, we're here. I've got my mouse right here. We're just going to do a chilled out commentary, just answering the questions. We're just going to click on all of them. But I need to say right before the video starts, the gameplay you're seeing right now on screen, if I remember to put it in, the gameplay in the background will be some career mode from a small YouTuber called Tom97HD. Very unrated guy, very quick guy, and he's doing a Raikkonen career mode at the moment. That's coming to an end soon, so go check him out. Link will be in the description, but that's going to be the gameplay you're seeing in the background, so go check him out. Under 1,000 subs, very underrated, deserves a lot more, so go check him out. But yeah, let's get into the questions, shall we? And we'll start off with the first one. So, do you think Renault will buy Lotus? Yeah, I've heard this rumor coming about, and I think they will. I think it will be good for them. I think that maybe they've lost their ways just being an engine manufacturer. So I would also like to see them buy Lotus, because I think Lotus has sort of lost the plot a little bit with how they've been going. I mean, they've been doing okay compared to last year, but they just haven't really been back where they were since like 2012. So. And 2013. So I just, I think Renault would be a good. I think Renault coming back would be good, and also be kind of good to have that yellow livery back, because I really like that yellow one they're rocking in 2010. So the next one is, if you go to any Grand Prix, any spot around the circuit, which track would you go to and where would you sit? So. I don't know. That's probably either Belgium or Singapore, I guess. I think Spa, I would definitely try and get a seat near Rouge, maybe just off the top of Rouge, or maybe like nearer the bottom, where you can see them come off turn one, maybe, and then you can kind of look left and see them go off in the distance up Rouge or something like that. I don't quite know where the grandstands are for Spa, so I don't know if that's even a grandstand that exists. But yeah, and then Singapore, yeah, I'd like to go there, maybe sit on the pit straight if I ever could. Yeah, just because it's a night race, it'd be a very kind of amazing spectacle to see. And then maybe Abu Dhabi as well, less for the kind of F1. I've heard Abu Dhabi is just quite a great Grand Prix to go to in terms of like the hospitality they do and stuff like that, so it'd be quite good if you ever got like really nice tickets to Abu Dhabi and stuff like that. But yeah, probably Spa or Singapore, like around Rouge or around the pit straight for Singapore. Next question. Now that the hype for F1 2015 has died off a bit, what aspects of Formula 1 do you want to see added to the F1 2016 game now that we finally got the next-gen graphics? In terms of things I want to see added, well, I just want to see a lot more features in the game. There's not very much to do. There's nothing really to do. Like, I've already run out of stuff to do on career mode, to be honest. It's just normal career mode. I mean, they're now bringing back in a patch, I think, to customize the sessions, so that'll be a bit interesting. But apart from that, I just want to see them finally pad out career mode. I mean, even the stuff they put in this year for all the crofty commentary and whatnot, it's just not enough. They need to do a little bit more to make it go longer. I mean, they need to bring back the stuff they did for 2012, which was... back in 2012, if you guys have played that game, in career mode, you could progress a team from tiers. There was actually a tiering system. So if you guys remember Road to Glory, what happened was, in Season 1, Marussia were in the bottom tier, then we finished high enough to go into Tier 2, which was the midfield team. So my car was fast enough to legitimately get up to about P5. And then we, finished there. We didn't win the season in Season 2. But what happened was we went up to Tier 3, and Tier 3 was the highest tier, and our car was legitimately fast enough in the corners to, you know, get pole position and actually win races. So I think that needs to be back. I think they need to bring that back. It hasn't been back since 2012. They scrapped it for 2013, and they haven't brought it back, and I don't know why, because it was a brilliant feature. It was a proper career mode in 2012 when you could actually improve a team and you could actually see a difference and feel a difference. So I think they need to bring that back, and they just need to do more with it. They need to do more with it. They need to bring the paddock back. They need to bring the interviews back and stuff like that. They need to, like, you know, try and do a lot more with it. Like, you know, I know the FOM will strangle them as much as they can, but I feel like they're not pushing enough on FOM. I feel like they're just sitting back and letting FOM dictate what they're doing. Whereas I think as a proper games developer, they need to kind of push back against the man, as it's said, and kind of maybe ask FOM if they can do certain things, and because it feels like they're not really asking FOM if they can do something different or not. Moving on to the next question. If Button was in F1, who would you support? It'd probably be between Sebastian Vettel and Daniel Ricciardo. Ricciardo, I've been really impressed with him. I've liked him since his kind of Toro Rosso days. Even when he was in HRT, it was kind of like that. It was that like really like community joke that he was in HRT as a Red Bull driver, trundling around. I remember I went to the Grand Prix in 2011 for the British one, and I remember seeing him in the HRT. Like, it was such a bad car that he was, you know, it wasn't that he was a bad driver. It's just the car was so crap that you could see him trundling around, kind of nowhere near anyone, but he was still beating his teammate by miles. So, but also Vettel as well. I really like him as a driver, the way he drives, the way he goes racing. I like him as a personality as well. So yeah, probably between those two. So I guess I'll maybe have to decide soon, because, you know, there's a lot of rumours banging around that Button maybe leaving F1, maybe going to Williams. You know, I hope that rumour's true, because I would love to see him maybe be in a competitive. I honestly think he only has like 1 or 2 years left before he himself maybe decides to retire. Because there was an interesting interview with F1 recently on the website, and the question was, what advice would you give to up-and-coming F1 drivers, or, you know, young kids who want to get into F1? And his answer was, pick up a football and a tennis racket, because it's a hell of a lot cheaper, and the rules change a lot less. So it sort of brought home to me that maybe he's getting a little bit frustrated with F1 in itself as well, not maybe just his the car he's got. So it'd be great to maybe see him go to Williams. I'm sort of going off topic here on the question, but yeah, I guess hopefully I don't have to decide soon, but I guess I do in the next 2 years, so it'll probably be Vettel or Ricciardo. Next question is, do you think McLaren will up its game in the next year, and who do you think will get Raikkonen's seat next year if he doesn't get signed for another one? I think McLaren will up their game, but I think maybe podiums will be on the cards next season. I don't think wins will be. I think wins will still be another season after that, because the way they're progressing, it's pretty rapid from how far back they were in Australia, but it's just not good enough at the moment for seeing wins next year. I think podiums will be the thing next year, and then maybe wins the year afterwards, and that's if they improve. And obviously, the year afterwards, 2017, the new rules will come in, so that will just put another spanner in the works. So I just don't know. It seems like McLaren have sort of almost forgotten how to, you know, make a solid, reliable car, along with, I guess, you know, Honda, you have to factor it in, but also their car hasn't been too amazing since 2013. They just, ever since they were, you know, 2012, they had the fastest car pretty much on the grids. The Red Bull and the Ferrari were sort of there or thereabouts. McLaren was consistently fast, but then 2013, they did that whole thing where they were like, we're not going to go for evolution, we're going to go for revolution, and then they sort of just fucked that all up, and it just went completely wrong. So we'll see. We'll see. Do you think Raikkonen will get a seat next year, or who will get Raikkonen's seat? I don't. It's a tough one, because I like Kimi, but in recent times I've just sort of feel like maybe Bottas would be a lot more kind of suited to go in that seat. I think maybe Raikkonen is sort of clutching to straws, sort of like Button almost. He's sort of in the same position almost as Button, where it may be like his final few years, I think, because Raikkonen, he hasn't really been performing too well, and I think Bottas deserves like a really good seat like that. I think he could win races if he went to Ferrari. He could really give a really nice battle to Vettel, and really the two could make a really good pairing. Moving on, the next question. When and how did you meet Ben and start playing together? I met Ben in 2012. Yeah, 2012. I met him in 2012, at the end of 2012, like September. Yeah, September 2012, I think it was. I met him through YouTube. We didn't know each other, and I think I don't think he was subscribed to me, but he watched one of my videos, commented below on the video, and then I sort of checked out his channel, because it's always a funny thing I like to bring up always is the first interaction between me and Ben was I did like a really shit setup video where I didn't really know what was going on back on 2012 with the setups, and then Ben commented below advertising his channel saying come check out my fast setups, because at the time he was like one of the fastest players out there, so he put that in the comments. So I checked his channel out, and then I sort of saw that he was doing league racing, and then eventually a few months down the road I kind of properly got to know him in the community, because at the time I wasn't properly in the community on Twitter and stuff, and then eventually I got onto Twitter the next year in April, and then I got really into it, so and then that's how I've kind of properly got to know him, and then, you know, obviously we started doing videos on 2012, and then the rest is sort of history. But yeah, it's just sort of through Twitter and YouTube, sort of. If you're not on Twitter on the F1 community, you're missing out quite a lot. Like, you're just so clueless. Like, there's a lot of you guys who are not on Twitter, and you're just oblivious to the amount of stuff that gets talked about in the community. There's just so much banter week in, week out with the race, with the real life Grand Prix and whatnot. It's a great place to be, and that's where you meet most of the people. And if you're a up and coming YouTuber and whatnot in F1, you have to be on Twitter. There's no other way to interact with other people. Next question is, what F1 season has the best looking cars? Obviously, I've been watching F1 for not too long, so I'm going to say 2011. I think I really like the look of those cars, especially the McLaren looks really, really nice. I really love the McLaren's U-shaped side pods. That I thought those were really really creative. I thought it would be quite, you know, it would improve performance, I guess. Probably not as much as I thought, because they haven't continued it on with the whole kind of exhaust thing. But yeah, I really like the look of the McLaren in 2011, and things like the Red Bull look pretty good in 2011. I actually prefer the Red Bull look in 2010 when it had those huge kind of like tusks on the front end of the car. Those look pretty good. So yeah, I'll probably say 2010 Red Bull, 2011 McLaren, just that sort of era. Next question is, do I count on playing other racing games? Yeah, definitely, 100%. I'm going to be definitely playing Need for Speed 2015. That is going to be a definite Let's Play on this channel come November, because I am absolutely pumped for that game. Big Need for Speed fan. I played the last game, which was 2 years ago. It's been a year since they made a game, so I'm really, really pumped for this, and it looks freaking awesome on this new kind of installation. They kind of rebooted the franchise. It's going to be like a crossover between Need for Speed Underground and Need for Speed Most Wanted. I'm really freaking looking forward to that. That's definitely going to be a full Let's Play, because I've done some videos on Need for Speed in the past like 2 months, and those got pretty good responses. I've seen the analytics. It seems like more of my American viewers like watching that, so if I do content on Need for Speed, it'll probably be uploaded later at like 9 or 10 p.m. at UK time. Next question is, what subjects are you studying at university or college? I'm studying aerospace engineering at university right now. So aerospace engineering it's a 3-year program with a sandwich year. So basically I'll be doing 2 years of study. I've already done one. I'm doing my 2nd year of study coming up in September. Then I'll take a year out in the 3rd year to go work in industry, which is part of my degree. So you go work in a company. So the hope is, knock on wood, that I'll be able to get into an F1 team. But, you know, we'll see. But 3rd year, go work somewhere, and then 4th year, finish off my studies. So, yeah, aerospace engineering with a sandwich year. Next question, who inspired you to post videos on YouTube? Pretty much cobble between Syndicate, KSI, and MGH. I watched a lot of MGH and Syndicate back in the day. I don't watch Syndicate as much right now. I'd still watch quite a lot of MGH, actually. But, yeah, I used to watch MGH when he was like 15,000 subscribers, and now he's like, what, like 500,000 or something? I don't even know. So I used to watch him when he started off. So it was sort of kind of nice to see how fast he grew and kind of how he built up the channel and kind of focused it. And I've always liked the way he makes videos. So, yeah, I guess I wanted to get into videos after I've seen his videos, and also what Syndicate was posting. And yeah, and in terms of F1, why I did F1. It was just a case of I didn't want to do COD or FIFA or something like that because I wasn't any good. I'm not good at COD. I'm not great at FIFA. So it was just about what I'm good at, and the only good game I'm like actually good at, you know, compared to average. I mean, I'm not fast at all by the stretch of imagination compared to people in this community, but if you compare it to the average viewer, the average racer on F1, I'm fast, so it sort of made sense to do F1, so that's why I did F1. But yeah, in terms of actual getting me into YouTube, it was mostly like Syndicate, MGH, a little bit of KSI back in the day when he was doing like those Road to Division 1 videos and whatnot. Next question is, who do you think will take Button's seat when they leave, Van Dorn and Magnussen? I think it might be Van Dorn if he retires in the next 2 years, but to be honest, I would like to see both of them get a seat, so I'm hoping that the rumours of ART maybe getting an F1 team in would be great, because I would love to see maybe Van Dorn and Magnussen be like the McLaren B team and help Honda produce the engine, so that'd be quite cool. Next question, what YouTube content do you have in mind for the future? Like I said, Need for Speed's a big one. The hype of F1 2015 is slowly starting to calm down. So I'm really looking forward to Need for Speed to bring a little bit more hype back up to the channel with that new game. Forza 6, maybe I might pick it up, but I don't really know. But Need for Speed for sure is going to be the biggest one the rest of this year. That's going to be a really big one, and I hope that really works out, because I'm definitely going to be playing a lot of that game, so it'd be really great to if it works out on the channel. Next question, would I consider a second channel for different games such as FIFA and COD? I have done in the past, I've done FIFA, but it just never works out because I never find time, and I'm just concentrating too much on the first channel, so... And with the amount of time I'm limited at the moment in terms of like how much time I'm spending on the first channel, it's just not viable at the moment. I guess maybe in the future, again, but every time I've started a second channel, it just never works out. Next question, is aarava just your F1 name, or is it a real name? And when do you got a real name? What was it? That's a bit of a weird way to phrase that question, David, but okay. No, aarava, my real name's Arav, so AARAV. So that's my real name, Arav. But my PSN, when I first got my PS3, you know, when it first came out, when I was going to make my PSN, I thought, you know what, I'm going to be gaming for quite a long time. I don't want to make a stupid PSN name that looks, you know, that I'm going to regret in like a few years' time. So I thought I'd put my real name, Arav, and then put the first letter of my surname, A, on the end of it. So just Aarava. And then when I came to make the YouTube channel, I just thought, logically, I should just make it my PSN name, because, you know, then it makes sense, and, you know, when it comes to maybe doing races with people, you know, I could just be like, check out my PSN name, it's Aarava, so it'd be very logical to make it that way. Next question is, what uni do you go to and do you enjoy it? I go to Queen Mary, University of London, and, yeah, I enjoy it. I mean, university has been quite an experience. It's been very kind of a very awesome year of my life in the past year, going to uni, met some great people, and did some great stuff in terms of what I've done at uni. And like in terms of the course, yeah, I'm enjoying it. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you guys, I'm enjoying YouTube even more than uni at the moment. But I guess that's sort of how it works. I mean, YouTube's more kind of play than work, and uni's all work. So, but yeah, I'm enjoying uni. It's going really well at the moment. First year was awesome. I managed to get a first in my first year, so that was really awesome, and it means a lot more to me than others, because strangely, my university counts the first year. It counts 10% to my degree, so in my first year actually does matter, instead of other people where it doesn't really matter, so they can go for like the 2-1 or whatnot. So I'm really happy with that, and it's going pretty well, so hope it keeps on going like that way, and hopefully I can graduate in 3 years' time with no issues. Next question is, who do you think Ferrari will sign for 2016? I think it might be Vettel and Bottas. I think it will be. And I want it to be that, because I just think Raikkonen has been bottling it too much in the past 2 years, to be honest, and I think maybe Raikkonen is also getting a bit fed up with F1 at the moment as well. And I would love to see Bottas drive for Ferrari, but at the same time, the other side of me logically thinks it would just be stupid to try and do that, and maybe they'll just stick with the safe option, which is Kimi. Next question, BBC Sports or Sky F1? Sky, because they have all the races live, so that's pretty much a no-brainer in terms of that. In terms of like the build-up to the Grand Prix, I prefer BBC's, but Sky has all the races live, so that's just there's no argument. I'm going to pay for Sky and get all the races live. Next question, what's your favourite part of any video game, and when was it? I don't know, probably have to be either when I finished GTA and I came to the end of GTA 5, when I finished it and the end credits rolled. That was a pretty sweet moment because it was a pretty damn awesome game, and I finished it within like I think 2 weeks or something. So I pretty much no-life that game, and it was a pretty sweet moment when I got to the end. And also Last of Us. The Last of Us was a pretty epic game, and always fun memories playing that game. So yeah, guess when I came to finish both those games. Next question is, are you doing a third season F1 2015 when you finish with the button one? And will you choose a vote for subscribers? Yeah, I will be doing a third season, and this time, unlike season 2, the vote will actually decide my driver. I know lots of people may be a little bit annoyed that I ended up just ignoring the vote, but in the end, the thing is, if I had put Mclaren in the vote, people would have voted for Mclaren anyway. And the thing is, obviously, if you guys know me and logically think about it, Button's my favourite driver. I sort of felt obliged I had to do a Button career mode at some point, and I felt season 2 was the right time to do it. You know, completely different end of the spectrum from Ferrari, so that's why I chose it. But yeah, I will be doing a vote for season 3 at the end of season 2, and it will actually decide my season 3 driver, because I feel like you guys are a little bit annoyed that I didn't pick Force India for the vote or Red Bull for the vote, so I will be doing a proper vote for it at the end of the season. Next question, once you finish your uni and go full-time into a job, hopefully F1, yeah, knock on wood, what will happen to your channel, say, if you hit 100 subscribers, or 1 million for that matter? A bit optimistic, Brandon. 1 million's not going to really happen. 100 maybe in 3 years' time by the time I graduate. And to be honest, I haven't thought about it at all. Haven't thought about what would happen in that circumstance. And I guess that's sort of the beauty of it. I don't like to plan my life out ahead. A lot of people are kind of like that. They like to plan ahead. I sort of just like to live in the moment and do what makes me happy at the moment. And right now, that's just doing YouTube and trying to do uni at the same time. So I guess, I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I'll try and do the job and YouTube occasionally. Obviously, the job will be more priority, so maybe YouTube will be like on a very big back burner. I don't know. I can't really say. You never know where YouTube will go. I can't really say, so we'll see. I don't like to think about it too much, to be honest. Next one is, how did I get into Formula 1 and what was your favourite team at the time? I got into Formula 1 because my dad was into Formula 1 and he sort of got me into Formula 1 around 2006-ish, 2007-ish. I watched it on and off from then on till about 2010, and then that's when I properly got into it. And then by that point, my dad sort of went off F1 almost, because he's got into golf recently. Like I say recently, he got into golf around 2010 and stopped watching F1 a little bit and got more into golf. So he watches a lot of golf now, and since 2010, I watch nothing but F1 and a bit of football. So I've been into F1 since 07-ish, but on and off. But yeah, it was my dad, and back then he supported Jenson Button, so I just support Jenson Button, and ever since then I support Jenson Button, because I've just grown to like him as well, ever since I started supporting him because of my dad. So, yeah, so at the time I just supported him as a driver. I never support a team in F1. It's not like football for me. I don't support a team in F1, I just support a driver. Because, I don't know, I feel like it's a driver. Even though it's the team's a part of it, the constructors is a very big part for the money and whatnot. I feel like it's a sport where you kind of support the driver more than the team, I guess. At least that's how I think about it. So, yeah. Next question, have I ever been recognised in the streets, and what is it like if you have? I haven't ever been recognised in the streets, partly because I never really show my face in videos. I've shown them like twice in videos, if you look back on the channel. But no, I've been recognized in like online lobbies and whatnot when I'm not doing an open lobby. If I just jump into the public lobbies, I have like found subscribers in lobbies, but I haven't been recognized in real life. And to be honest, I think it would be a bit too weird for me to be doing that. So I think I'm sort of happy that hasn't happened. I think I'd be a bit too awkward. Next question, we were just talking about football briefly. Do you support any particular football team? Yes, I do. I support Manchester United. Have done since 2002 to 3. Yeah, 2 to 3. Basically, I started supporting United. I basically watched football on and off up until then, and then I started supporting United as I'm a big Ronaldo fan when he signed in 2003. I almost said 2013. Yeah, 2003. So ever since then, I support United. Obviously, Ronaldo moved on, but I just stuck with United, and then I sort of keep an eye on Real Madrid because I'm a real big fan of Ronaldo, so I like to keep an eye on Real Madrid. But yeah, Man United since pretty much 03. Next question, what's your best moment in F1 real life? Got to be the Canadian Grand Prix. The fact I stayed up late to watch that. Well, I say late. Back then, I was obviously younger, so for me, back then when I was younger, it was late. But right now, that would be a walk in the park. But yeah, like staying up and staying through like into the late evening for like 4 hours. And I legit actually watched it for 4 hours. I stayed at my couch and just was on my phone for 4 hours watching it. So that was probably the best moment in F1 for me. Next question, would you quit YouTube so that Jenson Button could drive for McLaren and win races next year? As much as I like Button and I want him to win races, I wouldn't quit YouTube because it's just too much fun. Too much fun. It's just, it's completely changed my life, so I wouldn't really want to change that. Next question, if Schumacher and Senna were in the 2015 game, would you go Senna or Schumacher? I'd probably go Schumacher, to be honest. I think he'd probably more my driving style. I think Senna was quite an aggressive driver, whereas I'm quite a smooth driver like Button is. So I guess Schumacher, he was quite aggressive, but I think he controlled races quite well. So I think that would be kind of more my driving style. So I think I would go with Schumacher. Next question, have you ever thought of traveling outside Europe to an F1 GP? Yes, I definitely have. I'm actually trying to maybe see if I can maybe go to the Canadian Grand Prix next year, because I always love the Canadian Grand Prix in terms of the circuit. It's one of my favourite circuits in F1. Obviously, this year is a bit of a boring Grand Prix, but here's hoping next one's much better. And also, as a country, I really like Canada. I've got a few family members out there as well, so it kind of fits perfectly. I could make like a whole holiday out of it just as I finish my uni exam, so I'm going to see if that's maybe a possibility next year, so we'll see. But yeah, definitely, I've considered it. It's kind of on my bucket list, I think. Next question, who's the fastest F1 YouTuber? It'd probably be between Harry, Noble2909, or JD, Terrell Limus, or Matty. I think probably if they all went back onto league racing, I still think Noble would probably still come out on top. You know, just going on track record, basically. I think on track record, no one's beaten Noble yet in the league racing stuff. You know, we're in that little era from 2012 to 2014, 2013, I should say, when he gave it up. So I think Noble's the one you want to go to if you're looking for fast gameplay. Next question. Oh, this I don't know who this question's from. I've never heard of this Tiamat Mard UK person. I've never heard of him. Never heard of him. Question: what's for dinner? It's a great question, Ben. That's a great question. What's for dinner? I think pizza. Proper question though. Let's say you hit 1 million subscribers in the next year. Would you do full-time YouTube instead of aerodynamic engineering thingy in F1? Nice wording, Ben. Nice wording. If I hit theoretically, if I hit 1 million, I would basically stay in uni to get the degree. Then I would just go for it and do full-time YouTube. But the fact I've got the degree would be like a nice backup plan. So if YouTube started to go sour, then I would have the degree, obviously. And having a degree in aerospace engineering is really, really good because it's quite a highly rated degree in terms of for many different jobs, not just engineering. Like if you do aerospace engineering or even mechanical engineering, for the matter of fact, you can go into the banking sector, you can go into the financial sector and stuff like that, because those sectors really kind of rate engineering degrees highly, because you have to think quite fast, you have to think quite logically in terms of problem solving and whatnot. So I think I would go for full-time YouTube in that case, theoretically, and then finished my degree, and then have that degree as like a backup plan to go into anything pretty much in terms of like the banking sector or engineering sector or whatnot. So I think that would be my plan if that ever theoretically happened, which it would never happen. So I think I can safely say I don't need to think about that. Next question, what is your cringiest video you've ever made? Cough, Scott Jensen, cough. Yes, indeed. The cringiest video series I've ever made is my 2013 career mode with Scott Jensen. That was the freaking most cringiest videos I've ever made. But I do not regret it, because I thought outside the box and I just went for it, which is something I feel lots of people in this community don't do enough. I think people are too safe with inside their little box of what they do for like career mode and league racing and whatnot. And I think the F1 community as a whole doesn't think outside the box enough. And that's why I'm very proud of what I try to do with the editing and whatnot. I try and push the box, get outside the box of what usual F1 stuff is about. And yeah, you might get a few people like I've seen in the comments lately saying they don't like the editing and whatnot. But you know what? I don't like sticking to the normal boring gameplay. It's just not interesting for me. I don't like watching that myself. I like to watch interesting outside the box kind of series. Like, you know, when I watch FIFA videos, I watch a lot of Spencer FC, and Spencer, freaking hell, like, he pushes the box so much in terms of FIFA series. He's coming up with brand new ideas left, right, and center, and that's why I think he's probably one of the best FIFA YouTubers right now, because he thinks of so many different series ideas, and they're so creative, and that's why I like to push the box out with my editing and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's my cringiest series ever, Scott Jensen, but at the time, I was pushing the boundaries, and I was thinking of new ideas, and that's why I'm sort of happy that happened, I guess. Next question, what's the best video you've ever done? Probably it's got to be either between the 2014 Ultra mod with Red Bull season finale, or the season finale of my 2015 mod career mode with McLaren Honda on the 2014 game. So between those two finales, if you haven't seen them, recommend go seeing them. Definitely probably my best edits, my best videos I think I've ever made. Next question, do you ever play iRacing? I've played it once in the past, because Cal and Tom persuaded me to play it once, but I just did not gel with it, and I don't like it. Basically, I'm not a simulation racer. I will admit, I actually prefer the whole halfway kind of stage that Codemasters have got. I like the handling of 2015. I think they just need to work on the rest of the game. Like, literally, I just hope they don't touch the handling. I think it's perfect right now for a wheel. The way it feels on a wheel is just amazing right now. So I hope they just leave it alone. Maybe tweak it a little bit to improve the things here and there. But no, I'm not into the simulation race. Next question, do you like understeer or oversteer? Probably oversteer, because I think it's a bit easier to kind of handle, I guess. Understeer sort of, all you can do is sort of brake earlier and turn in a little bit more, but if you turn in too much, you understeer even more. So I think oversteer, I think you can kind of handle it a little bit more. And also, plus, you know, who doesn't love a good power slide? Next one, what are your thoughts from the GP from last weekend in Hungary? Absolutely best race of the season, hands down. Thrilling stuff. Loved it. Loved the action. Loved what Ricciardo was doing at the end of the Grand Prix, leaving everything on the track. That diving move he made on Rosberg was absolutely awesome. The way Sebastian controlled the race, that was awesome to see. And the two Mercs, I'm not going to lie, I freaking laughed my ass off when I saw them making mistakes and whatnot. Because you guys know, if you follow me on Twitter, I really hate the dominance right now. So Hungary was just a perfect race for me. Absolutely amazing. Next question, did I ever think my channel would explode like it did? Not really. I mean, my channel hasn't exploded, to be honest. I mean, it depends on what you think exploded is. To be honest, I think I've just had steady growth ever since I've started, but I guess if you're maybe slow on growth, maybe you think I have exploded. But to me, I think I've kind of got very smooth growth. I haven't had like a huge big jump, to be honest. I've had a quite smooth trajectory the entire time. So I think I always knew from around 1,000 subs that I could continue growing, but I never thought it'd be this big. I thought, you know, when I was back on 1,000 subs, I think my goal was around 10k, I think, at that point. I never imagined it would get to 5 times that. So, no, I didn't really think it would get ever to this point. Next question, if you ever worked for Codemasters, what would be your main aim for the next game? I think it would be concentrating on career mode and trying to pad out the offline experience so much more. Stay with the handling, put in customized session options again, put in a lot more. Put in the paddock back, put in the interviews. Try and push FOM as hard as you can to try and put in different things like, you know, like FIFA did like a few years ago where they signed fake sponsors and stuff like that. I want stuff like that, you know, stuff like signing fake sponsors, you know, hopefully, you know, driver swaps and stuff like that. I mean, it would never, ever happen, but I don't know why Codemasters don't push hard. I think they should literally just be punching FOM in the face and until they're blue about things they want to do. But it just seems like they're sitting back on their asses and just going, oh, FOM won't let us do that, so let's not bother asking them about that. So that'd be my main aim, try and improve single player and try and get the longevity up ahead, because I don't play much online, to be honest. I don't really care too much about it, so offline would be the main aim for me, trying to improve it. Is how good are your breakdancing skills from 1 to 10? Probably a solid 3. Probably a solid 3. I'm really not great at dancing. You know, when I go out, I'm probably usually that standard, like, stand still, move your arms around a bit. That's pretty much it. So, yeah, probably a solid 3. Next question. Would you rather be right up someone's chuff or have someone be right up your chuff? That's a freaking amazing question. I've recognized this guy for the last few weeks. This guy has just been the chuff guy ever since I've said that once or twice in the videos. you've just been putting that everywhere in the comments, so that's just great. I would rather be right up someone's chuff, because then I could try and overtake them and, you know, make the move. Next question is, if you're offered a job in LMP1 or F1 for aero, what would you take? It'd pretty much be whatever was available, really, to be honest. But, you know, if F1 regulations kept on getting stricter and stricter every year, then, to be honest, I would actually consider LMP1, because there's a lot more open regulations, and I think they have a lot more to still do in aerodynamics in terms of those cars. But F1's still the goal for me, but obviously, I wouldn't pass up LMP1 in a heartbeat, because, you know, it's still a great kind of category to be in terms of aerodynamics and stuff like that. Next question is, do you have a girlfriend or do you want a girlfriend? I don't have a girlfriend right now, and do I want one? I'm not one to go out looking. I'm not one of those people that actively goes out and kind of is sort of desperate to go kind of actively find one. I'm sort of content with the people I have in my life, my friends, my family. I'm pretty happy with how my life's going at the moment. In terms of my agenda on the list, that's pretty low down, to be honest. I mean, I'm concentrating on YouTube, uni stuff, and really, to be honest, I'm pretty damn happy right now. So, no, I'm not really looking for one at the moment. We'll just see how it goes. Next question, how many subscribers do you want by the end of the year? Well, my goal for this year was 40,000 subscribers, so I've already passed that. So right now, I don't have any goals for this year anymore. I'm just sort of seeing how it goes, to be honest. What's your favourite JB race that you didn't win? Probably, I think, Abu Dhabi at the end of last season, 2014, because he got that crucial 5th place for Mclaren in the Constructors, or maybe Silverstone last year as well, where he nearly got Daniel Ricciardo at the end. That was 2 really enjoyable races for me as a JB fan to watch in terms of his performance. Next question, what is the key of getting more and more subscribers on YouTube, and who do you think will win the World Championship this season? Because of the Merc dominance, I think Hamilton will get it again, just because the car is so good. And what are the key of getting more subscribers on YouTube? There's no, like, one key, but it's just being very creative, thinking outside the box. Don't do what everyone else is doing. Like, if you're doing F1, for example, don't just do a standard career mode. Everyone's doing anyone can do a standard career mode. A standard career mode where you're just doing jump cut editing and just doing a race, just normal like that. Anyone can do that. Anyone can do that. You can edit those kind of videos on Movie Maker. Try and push the box a bit with your creativity. As I said at the beginning of this video, the gameplay is going to be from Tom97. Tom's already told me about a series idea he's going to do for Season 2 of his career mode, and it's fucking fantastic. Seriously, guys, go subscribe to Tom. His Season 2 idea is fucking amazing. Like, it's one of the best ideas I've heard of for a career mode series, you know, for a while now. It's just, you got to push out the box. You got to think a lot more than just, oh, I'm just going to do gameplay. Because at the end of the day, there's only so much a gameplay video can go to. Eventually, the gameplay gets boring, and you need to do more. So I think that's just my one and only advice, really. Just keep grinding, keep pushing at it. But to be honest as well, if you really do want to grow, I wouldn't stick to F1. I would try and find other smaller games. You just got to kind of be creative and kind of hope people see your content. And then also, I would say, to be honest, if you're thinking about doing F1, I'm going to tell you, you are going to struggle, because every year it gets harder and harder. Not even with F1, FIFA, COD, it gets harder and harder every year. You got to maybe, if you really do want to maybe grow, I would suggest actually picking a game which is a bit smaller, a bit in the smaller category, that doesn't have much of a community, because then you can be the biggest person in that community to grow. At least that's what I would do if I was starting over again. I wouldn't do F1. If I had to start over right now, I would do something else, kind of a smaller genre, to kind of grow bigger in that community. Next question is, how old are you? I'm 19 at the moment, turning 20 at the end of this year, which is pretty freaking crazy, because then I'll be a, quotation marks, responsible adult. Next question, what are your aims for the future of this channel? Well, obviously, as I said beforehand, I want to try and bring Need for Speed to this channel. I'll see how that goes. In an ideal world, it will perfectly gel into the channel, and I'll be able to do sort of half F1, half Need for Speed. That would be the perfect scenario for me, because then I can have variety on the channel, because I'm going to be honest, after a while, F1 gets a bit boring. It'd be great to be able to do some Need for Speed stuff in half the channel, but I'm going to be honest, I've tried stuff like that in the past, and it just annoyingly doesn't work out, because obviously, you know, lots of you guys subscribe for F1, and there's not a lot of people who are interested in Need for Speed. but I'm not getting enough new people who are interested in the new stuff that's not F1 to justify me keep on doing this new content. So I usually give up. You know, I've done it in the past with Forza. I've done it in the past with, like, you know, Sim City, like when I was like 300 subs and whatnot. So I'm praying to, like, the YouTube gods that I'm able to try and successfully merge Need for Speed into this channel, because that would be just perfect scenario if I can do F1 and Need for Speed, because I'm going to play a lot of that game and it would just be a shame if I couldn't record it. So I'm really hoping that those of you, if you're watching this Q&A all the way to this point, it's been 45 minutes or something, if you like Need for Speed, please just go ham on the support when it comes out in November, because that's the only way it's going to work on this channel. If it gets the support it can. And the final question, do you play non-racing games as well? Yeah, I do. Actually, F1 is probably a minority in terms of, I'm not a racer, I'm a gamer at heart. I play all different types of games. RPGs, first-person shooters, strategy games, everything, you know. I've got Witcher 3 on my PC, I've got Last of Us, FIFA, different various CODs, GTA. I've got countless games on my, like, PS3 and PS2, like Mirror's Edge and whatnot, Simpson games, Hulk games, you name it. I've got about a collection of 60 PS2 games and about 60 PS3 games and about 30 PS4 games at the moment. I'm a gamer, I'm not a racer, which is, I think, an annoying thing that lots of people mistake sometimes. When they subscribe to this channel, they think I'm an out-and-out racer and I care about full simulation and realism. I don't give a crap about any of that stuff. I'm just a gamer who plays the F1 games for fun. So, yeah, I do play non-racing games. I play them probably a bit more than F1, to be honest. That was a very long video. A lot of questions. So I hope that wasn't too long, but to be honest, I wanted to include this many questions, so the video sort of has to be this long. But if you have made it this far, then put in the comments below, hashtag Need for Speed November. If you have made it this far, put that in the comments, and I'll know that you've made it this far, legitly. If you've legitly made it this far, not just skipped forward, if you've legitly made it this far, put that in the comments below, and I'll know that you've made it this far. But yeah, that's been the Q&A, guys. If you did enjoy it, give it a like. My voice is completely gone. That was such a long video, but you know, lots of you guys wanted a big Q&A like this, and I don't do it very often. I only do it for big milestones like this, so it's good once in a while. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video then. Comment below what you thought. Again, if I didn't answer any of your questions, I'm really sorry. Put them in the comments, I'll try and answer them. If you're new around here, then do subscribe for daily F1 content, but I don't know why you'd get to this video first if you hadn't seen my other videos, so yeah. But yeah, I've been over. My voice is gone. I'm going to go drink some more water. But yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. Goodbye.